It's morning. And I've always said that God should have known, after making Hangover, that morning was redundant. But at least you did something wrong to get hangover. Morning comes every day, and you don't know why.
Alright, so a teacher is doing this thing with this class activity, and she's getting people to use senses other than their eyes. So she has all of her students close their eyes and open their mouths, and she puts a cherry in each one of them's mouth, and they eat it and they say, "Yeah, that's a cherry." She says, "Good, good." Then she has them all close their eyes again, and she gives them all a piece of pineapple. And they all taste the pineapple, and they say, "Yeah, it's pineapple." And she goes, "Yes, yes, excellent." So then she goes out, she takes a mint leaf and puts it in each of their mouths. They say, "Ah, it tastes like a mint leaf." "Yeah, mint, definitely mint." A couple of them say peppermint. She goes, "Well, excellent, you guys really know your flavors." So then she goes and gets some honey-flavored lifesavers out, and she pops one in each one of the kids' mouths. And the kids are sucking on them going, I don't know what these are. And just nobody? She goes, and nobody says, like, "Nope, don't know, don't know." She goes, "Well, I'll give you a hint. It's something that your mommy calls your daddy." And one kid spits out his lifesaver and he says, "Quick, spit them out! They're buttholes!" Okay, so there's an airplane, it's going its business, and two Marines come on board. They sit down, the aisles are 3 seats, so one guy sits at the window, next guy sits in the middle, and lo and behold, who should walk up but an Army sergeant. Army sergeant sits down, takes his boots off, shoves them under the seat, and goes to sleep. Two Marines look at each other, one nudges the other, and the Marine in the middle nudges the Army sergeant and says, "Hey, Sarge, do you mind getting up? I want a Coke." Sergeant says, "You know what? I'll get myself a Coke. I'll get you one too." Gets up very nicely, goes over to the stewardess and asks for a Coke. And while he's out there, the first Marine grabs his boot, spits in it, shoves it back under the seat. So, comes back, the sergeant gives the Marine his Coke, downs his own Coke, sits it on the forward tray, sits back down and takes a nap. About, 20, 30 minutes later, the Marine sitting next to the window taps the sergeant and says, "Hey, Sarge, I want a Coke." And the sergeant sort of lazily gets up, he's half awake, looks over at the Marine and goes, "Yeah, I could go for another one too. Don't bother getting up, I'll get you one." So he gets up, grabs his empty Coke, walks over to the stewardess, and the Marine grabs his other boot, spits in it, shoves it back. So the sergeant comes back, he's got the 2 Cokes, finishes his Coke, hands the other Coke to the Marine, the second Marine, and he goes back to sleep. And the second Marine goes, "Hey man, this Coke tastes a little salty." And the first Marine goes, "Oh, pour some in my glass, pour some in mine, let me taste it." Says, "Hey, yeah, you're right. This is a little salty." So then at the end, the sergeant wakes up, he grabs his boots, he's taken off his socks, he puts his socks in his hand, he wipes out the boots, and then he puts a new pair of socks on, puts them on, and says, "How long is this going to go on? The strife between our forces. You Marines, you spit in our boots. We Army men, we piss in your Cokes." Wah, wah, wah.